The Octagon is not just in Las Vegas anymore. Nope, guys, it's also in your hands. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Get ready, because remember, Rob faces off against Jon in a rematch at UFC 323. Every punch, every takedown, every finish, every attempt has the potential to pay off for you in real time. New customers can turn $5 into $200 if your bet wins, paid instantly in bonus bets. And hey, Missouri, the wait is over. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in the Show Me State. Stay in on the action and use your bonus bets in DraftKings same-game parlays. This gives you a shot at an even bigger payout. Do you love the thrill of live betting? DraftKings has you covered. Bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Sports and have the shot to win cash prizes. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. When you do, use the promo code SONNEN. That's code SONNEN to turn $5 in bets into $200 in bonus bets if your pick wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Well, I got a new favorite. I gotta tell you, Angry Tom Aspinall. This is a whole other deal. Tom is not overly interested in the marketing side of the sport. Or rather, early in his career, he did not embrace that. He is actually interested. But what do you do? I mean, honestly, what do you do? It doesn't matter how great you are, even in a scripted event. Stunning Steve Austin, for example, was not a main eventer and didn't sell tickets. When he became Steve Austin, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he becomes the biggest thing in sports. Money Mayweather was the same thing. You guys might misremember this. He was Pretty Boy Floyd for years. Pretty Boy Floyd did not make money. Money Mayweather, right? It's a little bit of a different deal. My point is, what do? You get an idea, you go out with it, it works or it doesn't. Then how long do you stick with something before you revamp it? It's very important that you understand from this perspective, because much like Stone Cold Steve Austin, he stumbled into something in one interview. If you guys know that story, right? Gets done with King of the Ring, grabs the microphone, says Austin 316, says, I just whipped your ass. You have no idea if that's going to work or not. The place goes crazy. Raw's the next night. People are holding signs that say Austin 316. Okay. Angry Tom. Angry Tom. You know that guy that is the world champion, and before that he was the interim world champion? You know that guy that knocked out 6 men in the first round? You know that guy that Bisping was talking about, who in his entire career in the UFC has only gone to the second round once? By the way, that was against a world champion who, by the way, he ended up stopping. That guy. That guy's done all of that in a good mood. He's done all of that with a smile. He's done all of that happy. What are you going to do with a 262-pound angry Tom Aspinall? And you can't answer that. We have to see it. It is an experiment like anything else, right? Sometimes a guy gets rattled in his approach and it changes everything, but sometimes it changes it for the better. You're telling me we got a knockout artist in the UFC who's been doing that happy? And now our same knockout artist is going to do it angry? You guys remember when Marvin Vettori made the switch? Something happened and Marvin got angry and showed that side. Angry Marvin Vettori is must-see TV. Angry Tom Aspinall, and he gave this interview on Ariel, and it was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. He's not flinching. He's not flinching on any of this. In fact, he doubled down, at least in the way he explained it. He was talking about the eye poke and why he didn't continue. And he said, and I quote, "I'm not effing stupid." He said it would be stupid to continue. "I'm not an effing dummy." It's the exact quote from our new favorite, Angry Tom. But I listened to him very carefully. I was very concerned about him continuing on with the eye. And like anything in PR, a topic runs until it doesn't. And all you have to do is turn the page one time. As soon as Tom does, like this eye thing is going to be around until Tom does one interview where it doesn't come up. When he does one interview where it no longer comes up, it'll be behind us. And I think it's important that we get there. Tom versus Ciryl was not a heavily anticipated match. It could have been. Could have been the way that Tom planned it and the way Tom had in mind when Tom flew out to Paris. But Ciryl blew that, and it just wasn't an overly anticipated match. Not to mention it felt like a bit of a letdown because you had Jon Jones, Francis exists, Pierre is sniffing around. And so I say that not to put either of those down, but it wasn't. In fact, it was the lowest pay-per-view of the year by a factor of 4. Sharing some inside numbers with you. Now, in fairness, it had a goofy start time. Either way, 2025 comes to a close. It is the lowest pay-per-view in your perennial class of heavyweight. I don't say that to insult it. I say you must understand that piece to appreciate what's next, which is when they rematch, it's going to be very big. But I think if we continue to dwell on the eye poke, I think we're looking in the wrong direction. We have an angry Tom Aspinall. He's angry that Ciryl poked him. He's angry the way that the rules played out. He's angry at the community's reaction. He's angry at guys who he thought were his friends. Guys that helped him and raised him until he got to the top. And as soon as he got to the top, those very people wanted to pull him down. This is Tom talking. And by the way, he is spot on. Like his analysis of the psychology of the fan. And it's very important that you understand that. It's very important that you come to terms with that. This will lead guys into drug abuse and alcoholism, where they think those Twitter followers are their buddies. So then when they turn and say, "Oh my God, I have nobody," and it's like, no, you didn't have them in the first place. This isn't real, right? I mean, a fan has got to be afforded the right to be positive and be against, to boo and to cheer. He has to have that right. So when you realize that applies to everybody, including you, it can be a really big knock. Tom was very matter of fact. He said his dad talked to him about this. He said his dad warned him about this on the way up. He didn't know what it meant when his dad told him. Now he's there, he sees it, he goes, "Oh, this is what Dad was talking about." It was just a very interesting interview by Tom. It was a very different side. I appreciated the non-apologetic approach. I don't know that there's another one, but now you have an angry Tom. And right now it's at the situation. The fans are a big piece of that. Commentators and the pundits that all got an opinion that say he should have continued, they get a piece of that. And the smaller sliver is Ciryl himself. But when he pours a little fuel on that, when he makes it his anger towards Ciryl, and that becomes a larger part of the pie, you're going to have one very compelling story. Because many of us on the outside, none guiltier than Michael Bisping, have made threats about Tom. Look out for this guy. This guy's going to knock you out. This guy's going to hurt you. This guy's going to beat you. This guy's going to be champion. Tom has never made those claims. Tom has never been angry before. And I gotta tell you, out of a tatted up 262-pound cage fighter, I want a little edge and I want a little anger.